Hey folks, Brian coming at you. Welcome to the first vlog of 2025 for the Beast Mode Archery Challenge. Today's February 3rd, even though it doesn't really look like it. We just had the Quiver Shiver a couple weeks ago, and I want to thank all the competitors for coming out and participating in that, as well as our volunteers. Really, the volunteers is what makes our events tick, as well as Tyrrell Basin for hosting that event. But the Quiver Shiver is a great event. It's a small event. It's laid back. We had a lot of new people coming out and participating and getting a taste of what some of our challenge events are all about. So looking forward to having that again next year. And again, just thanks to those that participated in that. Before we get too deep into this vlog, I want you to know that there's a giveaway for the Vortex Fury 5000 range finding binocular, but you have to stay tuned until the end to find out how you can win this, or you can forward to the end and find out the details. The Beast Mode Endurance Archery Challenge is coming up just under 12 weeks from today on April 26th at Tyrrell Basin. This is the third year doing the event. It is basically staying the same as last year and really the previous year. It's still the 8-hour challenge, completing as many laps as you can in that 8 hours. You can compete it as a solo individual or as a team of 3 or 4. And really, like I said, it's staying the same as the last couple years. We've gotten great feedback from it. Last year, it did sell out about 3 weeks before the event started. So that's probably the number one tip I can give you right now, is if you haven't signed up and you're planning on doing it, get registered. About 20 of the 80 spots are already filled. Most of them are solo people. They're not teams. And once the teams start signing up, those remaining 60 spots are going to go pretty quick. So really get signed up. I know a lot of you are training for it. I know a lot of you are coming from a long distance. We have guys from West Virginia already coming, from all over the Midwest. And I know that there's some of you out in the Pacific Northwest that are planning to come and do it. So I would hate to see you go through all the training and then it sells out before you get registered. So register soon if you're planning on doing that. The things that I'm looking at changing is hopefully we'll have 3 target stations instead of 2 this year. Okay, the last couple years we had 2 target stations per lap, with the penalties being a extra hill climb or an extra little lap and a sled drag. Don't be surprised if we throw in a farmer carry for one of those challenges, especially if we add a 3rd target. By April 1st, about that time, we'll know if we're going to open it up to 100 competitors, and we'll know kind of what the course is going to look like. I'm hoping to change the course up this year, but it really comes down to what type of spring we have and how much snow melt we have at Tyrrell Basin, and just kind of what all that is looking like. So as time gets closer, I'll be releasing more information, and then really I won't know what that course is going to be. I know a lot of you want to know what the course is, but it's not, I won't know exactly that until probably a few weeks before the event. But guaranteed, Dick Dragger is going to be on it. It's probably going to be the same 1.5-mile distance, maybe a little bit longer. We might even be moving base camp from the tubing area down to the main chalet. So there's a lot of things that are in the works. Just the next really 8 weeks we'll know kind of what that's going to look like. But again, your registration fee includes the dinner afterwards. It includes the competitor t-shirt, as long as you sign up by the deadline, which probably most of you will. And obviously it includes the event. I'll have a video releasing all the details again as we get closer. Most of the details are already online, beastmodearcherychallenge.com. Click on Endurance Challenge and you'll find all the details that we have as of right now. But especially if you've done it last year, it'll be very similar. Just the layout might be a little different in terms of the course, how many targets you're shooting, stuff like that. So that's the Endurance Challenge on April 26th at Tyrrell Basin. Let's talk about King of the Mound 3D and King of the Hill 3D. King of the Mound 3D at Bruce Mound Winter Sports Area is on May 16th through the 18th. And King of the Hill 3D at Tyrrell Basin Ski Resort is July 18th through the 20th. Okay, this is year number 2 for King of the Mound, and year 6, I believe, for King of the Hill 3D. Just so you know, that King of the Hill 3D has always been that last weekend of July. We bumped it up a week, so make sure you note that. Okay, we did that for multiple reasons. There's a lot of stuff going on in Mount Horeb and the state that last weekend of July, so we bumped it up a weekend so that you guys would be able to enjoy that event and have access to hotels and stuff like that in the Mount Horeb area for that weekend. Whereas that last weekend in July, everything was pretty much already booked up. So that was the main reason for that date change. But I want to give you in this video kind of the 10,000 foot view of these events. And again, we'll come out with another video as we get closer. So I want to cover kind of what the events are going to look like, as well as what you need to do during registration process so that everything is done correctly, and kind of some of the more commonly asked questions that we get. When you register, okay, make sure and this is for people that are registering like a group. Make sure you have the correct t-shirt size for everybody in your group. Okay, it happens every year that because we give out free event t-shirts for that specific event. Okay, and it all comes from your registration, what you tell us on registration, what sizes we need to order. So make sure you have the correct sizes of everybody in your group so that everybody can have a t-shirt. As well, when you register other people, make sure you have their correct email address for that. Because a lot of people will say, I didn't get an email, I don't know what's going on, blah, 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 blah. It's all probably because the person that's registering you used their email address for everybody in your group, and then nobody gets any information. So those are the two biggest things really that makes our lives easier. So make sure when you register in a group, make sure you have everybody's correct email address and shirt size. Now, when you register, the unleash time, okay, that's the time that you select for your first course of the day. So and as well as what range. We have the front range, the western range, and the Savannah range. Okay. Probably the next most commonly asked question is, can I shoot more than one course a day? Absolutely. Okay. That unleash time and starting course is for your first course. Okay. So you can select what time you want to go out and the course that you want to start on. After that, and after the allotted time for each event, probably around 11 o'clock, you'll be able to go out on the second course. And when you finish that, you can go on the third course. Or if you have one course that's your favorite and you want to shoot it multiple times, by all means, you have the liberty to do that. That is what your registration fee includes. You can shoot the courses as much as you want. You get your competitor participant t-shirt, as well as you have unlimited access to the practice range. You can fling as many arrows as you want at the practice range. So those are kind of, in terms of registration and that process, those are the things I get the most questions or the most confusion is about that type of stuff. So hopefully I made that as clear as mud. You also have the option for camping. At Bruce Mound, we have a huge area for camping. And we already have a lot of folks signed up that are planning to camp. So we welcome you to do that. We hope you do that. It's a good time. It's a blast. And just so you know, Bruce Mound Winter Sports Area is right in it's in the heart of the Wisconsin, the Central Forest Zone. So there's a lot of outdoor activities. That week, the week before, Jackson County and Clark County, which Bruce Mound is kind of right on the border of those two counties, they open up their ATV trails. So if you're an ATV or you have UTV, you have hundreds of miles to enjoy that type of recreation. So if you want to come and do the shoot and do some ATVing or UTVing or fishing or whatever it is, there's a lot of stuff to do in that area. So when you register again, you have that option to reserve camping for both events. At Tyrrell Basin, we're a little bit more limited in terms of camping. So we don't have that many spots available. So if you're planning and want to camp at Tyrrell, make sure you get signed up sooner than later. There are a number of campsites, campgrounds in the area, but again, those are pretty busy campgrounds. So if you're planning to do something like that, make sure you get online and check those campgrounds out. In terms of the actual events, so we have the 3 courses. Let's talk about Bruce Mound here in terms of the courses. If you shot the event last year, they will be similar but different. Okay, last year is our first year. We really got to learn the area, the topography of that location, and just trying to figure out what trails we can use and how we can route people and stuff like that. So we are super excited for this year. We have 3 very similar courses, or the 3 courses are going to be in a similar area that they were last year. But now we hope to get everybody to the top of the hill, and then your returning route is going to be underneath the chairlift. So we're going to be zigzagging our way up to the top for each course, and then everybody's going to be bringing the same return course down. We are still trying to keep the iconic shots, on the front range. The front range had so many, right? A lot of people really like the front range and being up on the ridge with the cliff looking down and all that kind of stuff. We're still planning to keep that pig shot. It may not be a pig this year, but that steep downhill shot on the front range. The Savannah range is going to be the long shot this year. That the Savannah range is going to have the bison on it, out in the kind of the big open area, along with going up the slope and using the hardwoods in the back. And then the western range, the western range is really going to be western this year. It was pretty cool last year. It was actually the shortest course in terms of distance last year, and this year it's going to be right up with the other 2. We figured out a path to get you off of the kind of a short cliff off the backside. We figured out a safe path to get back in there, so we're just able to redo that route somewhat and bring you some really cool shots for the western range as well as the other 2. But the western range is going to be really, really cool. So we have, those are the courses. The practice range now, okay, this is for both King of the Hill and King of the Mound. The practice range is going to be a little different. We're still going to have the 20 target practice range, okay? That's everybody's favorite. You have all those targets out there to fling arrows at as much as you want. We have the Toma Warren Sportsman's Alliance Club that's providing those targets at Bruce Mound, and we have the Barneville Tree Eagles providing the targets at Tyrol for King of the Hill. So we're going to divide those targets up a little bit. We're going to have 11 targets still available for the practice range, but we're going to slide 9 of those targets over a little bit, and we still have to come up with a name, but right now we're calling it the 3D Money Shoot BMAC style. So more details to come on that, but it's going to be a money shoot that you can go through and shoot those 9 targets from 3 different stations, and we'll keep track of scores. We'll have a high score for each day, and we'll have a cash payout for probably the top 3 at the end of the weekend. But stay tuned for that. We're working out those details, but we're really excited for that because a lot of you have requested some type of competition at those events because they're mostly just for fun. So that's where we're kind of coming up with something new for you guys to enjoy. The novelty shot, the big standing bear novelty shot with the pigeon, that's still going to be there. But I'll tell you this, it's going to be 108 yards, give or take a yard. That way you guys know the exact yardage. You can practice, because we love seeing those pigeons being broken. So we're letting you know it's going to be approximately 108 yards, give or take a yard, depending on how we can set the bear up and all that kind of stuff. But we want you guys and gals practicing that and trying to bust that pigeon. We want to see more pigeons busted this year. In terms of food, still the same great food at Tyrol. The chalet is going to be open. They may even they're doing some construction this spring, and if that's done, we might even have an outdoor bar food area, but time will tell with that. The Bruce Mound will be the same. It will be catered in with that group that was there last year. RMEF, the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation, is going to be on site at both events. The last few years, we've had the big raffle, the RMEF raffle at Tyrol Basin. This year, we're going to have a raffle at each. The Tyrol one will be bigger than Bruce Mound just because has been a bigger event. But we're going to have 2 separate raffles, or RMF is going to have 2 separate raffles. And then they're also going to do a trivia night. So on Saturday evening, they'll do the raffle. Then there'll be a trivia night. At Tyrol will be in the chalet. Bruce Mound will probably be in the chalet as well. And then we're still planning on doing the after hours scramble then after that. So we're trying to add more things to keep everybody entertained and participating in. And with RMEF, it's a great organization to help raise money for them. At Bruce Mound this year for the King of the Mound 3D, we're having Chase Outdoors, a bow shop from up in the Wausau area. They're going to be on hand, and they'll be there to help you with any bow need you might have. If your rest gets bumped or your sight gets bumped or whatever it might be, they'll be on hand to help you out. They're going to have a lot of flagship bows there for you to try out, as well as other gear and things for you to look at and purchase. At Tyrol, it's going to be Jeff's Performance Archery, Jeff and Caleb. They've been there for the last few years, and we really do appreciate these local clubs coming out, local pro shops coming out and being there to support you guys. The first couple years of King of the Hill, it always happens, right? We practice, we look forward to these events, and then you come, and out of the hundreds of people that come to these events, it's bound to happen that something breaks or something gets bumped or whatever it is. So it's really nice that these pro shops will come out and be on hand. So if something like that does happen, there's somebody there that can professionally help you get things fixed and get you back on the hill and shooting. So thanks to Chase Outdoors and to Just Performance Archery for being a part of that and being a part of the events. Now, I do want to go back and touch on one other thing I should have touched on the beginning in the commonly asked questions and comments and stuff like that. And that is the shooting positions and the distances. This shoot is not your typical club shoot. This shoot is designed to be long distances, challenging shots, topography, all that good stuff. So it is a bit extreme. I know that. That's what the event is designed to be. So we have the orange cone that we shoot from. Each target scenario, we do try to have a closer shooting position, a flag, typically a flag. And I do know that many of you utilize that, if not for every target, for a lot of them that are just further than what you feel comfortable shooting, and that's totally fine. So I want you to know that, and for people that are new to this, to know that you can shoot from the cone, or you can shoot from the flag if you don't feel comfortable shooting from the cone. Or this is for fun. So you can shoot from whatever distance you want from the cone to the target, especially those that are bringing youth or people that are new to archery and you don't feel comfortable doing those shots, but you want to be there for the ambiance of the event and just all that stuff. And great that we encourage that and we want to see that. But just know that you can shoot from wherever it is or wherever you want to shoot from, as long as it's from the cone to the target and you're not changing the shot angle. That's probably the biggest thing for safety wise, is that you're not changing the angle. Okay, just so that we know when we set up those targets and we set up the courses, safety is number one. So we need to make sure that people are not, if I'm shooting right at you, okay, and then somebody else decides to move over 30 yards, well, that angle is totally different. And now when you exit that target, the group behind you, your arrow, if they miss, it's an unsafe situation. So you can shoot as close as you want, okay? Just don't change the shot angle. That's my number one safety comment that I have. I hope this video was helpful. I hope it answered some questions. I hope it gave you some insight on the events coming up this year. By all means, if you have any questions or need any more information, look at the website, beastmodearcherychallenge.com. That has a lot of the information. You can find a registration link to all the events on the appropriate page on that website. But again, feel free to reach out to me. You can email me, beastmodearchery@gmail.com. You can find us on social, Beast Mode Archery Challenge on Instagram and Facebook. But I hope to see you guys and gals out at the events. Make this year the year that you do an event. If you have not done one before, come on out. They're a good time. So now, let's do the giveaway. So, to win this binocular, all you got to do is sign up for one of our events by March 1st. March 1st, I'm going to give this away. For every event that you are signed up, you get one entry into this. So if you sign up for the Endurance Challenge, you got one entry. For those of you that are doing the Endurance Challenge, the King of the Hill, and King of the Mound, you will have 3 entries. So that's how you're going to win it. I will draw the winner on March 1st, and I'll give you this at the first event that you come to. So that is how you can win one of these Vortex Fury binoculars. Thanks for listening.